I didn't know YouTube could do this. That's strange. I didn't realize that you do streaming through YouTube. I thought it was through Twitch and then people put it on YouTube. I didn't
Well,
know it was
you
a
can do
direct
you can do it both
thing.
ways. Like I said, if you're doing just video games, for simplicity's sake, I would use. Let's see, okay, no, we're good. For
Like
simplicity,
Twitch.
yeah. What was I gonna say? For simplicity's sake, yeah, use Twitch for game streaming, but for like a podcast style show that's not specifically about video games, that can actually get you kicked off Twitch. So if you want to do, I guess, just a talk show, variety show, whatever, that's just not specifically video games, I would use YouTube, unless you have some private server to host your own uh, content.
Sweet.
Yeah, but see, we're kind of getting started here. Um,
Let's see. I'll tell Jeffrey what we're about to do. So he just got off work an hour, no, 2 hours ago. Poor Jeffrey. He works till 7 every day. Me
okay.
and me and Nelson to do
Getting started
a
here.
live
Um,
case. Let's see. I'll tell Jeffrey what we're about to do. So he's.
oh, there we go. Okay, there we
Oh,
go.
now I can hear myself.
Yeah, what was I doing? Yeah, like I said, YouTube streaming is a bit wonky. So, let's see.
Yeah. Man,
Boom.
I haven't used my Skype in years. Like literally years. Oh my goodness. Turned it on and it's like, uh, what's your password? I put password in and said, we locked you out because you haven't used your password in da 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 time. I'm like, what?
All right, let's see. We're
So it's been a
starting in
while.
1 minute. I'm probably gonna do a local. Was it? I'll upload the local copy rather than the stream copy because I'm not too sure how we're gonna turn out. I've already dropped 167 frames, which sounds like a lot, but we're shooting at around 30 frames per second, so in reality, it's not too bad. Let me go ahead and I guess we'll get the show underway. I'll give you a few quick talking points and you can give me some words. Does that sound alright?
Oh, that's fine. Some words.
Alright, I'll introduce us here in just in an uno momento.
Wonder if me watching the stream, I bet that's gonna.
Oh,
I probably don't need to watch it.
yeah, you probably don't watch the stream. That's like calling into a radio. It's like calling into a radio broadcast and having the radio on. It'll be
Yep.
confusing. So just pause it
It'd
or
be
turn it
it'd
off.
be
Yeah,
nah, I just turned it off.
there we go.
I just have talk you up. I got the GeForce GTS thing you have, little
Yeah,
post up in your Facebook.
yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. The internet looks like it's heaving on mine, which I expected, running Skype and streaming at the same time. But I'll see how bad it is locally, because I have, like I said, the local stream as well as the recording I'm ripping off my stream. But anyways, we've been talking now for a minute, and the show has already started. So let me go ahead and say welcome to the Superior Stream with your host Mayo and co-host for tonight, partially the Gubna. We're gonna go over.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, hello, Gubna. uh, the docket is not too full, so I don't think we'll make it to an hour tonight. But at the very least, I gotta keep on pushing out shows. So, first docket, last show, Trials and Tribulations. I'm not sure what's up with YouTube. I'm not quite sure if it's just my poor internet or YouTube's terrible interface. But I had issues streaming, and it looks like I'm having issues streaming tonight. Which, if you're watching live, I feel sorry for you because it looks like we're cutting out every once in a while. But if you're listening to the uh, the show after the fact, it should be fairly tolerable, I'd say. But
How many megabytes are you running at right now? Like, what's your internet speed?
I have, which is terrible for streaming, 1 megabyte up and 2 megabytes down. Yeah.
See, I have because I work for everyone that doesn't know me. Of course, my name is Gubner, and I work for the cable internet business down here. I'm in materials, but anyway, I get everything for free, so I get like the best for free. So we get 60 megabytes up in here where I'm at. Might be that we need to switch it up some days where I can run the show,
Well,
and
I was
maybe you could
actually you're gonna
run your
ask.
sound through me.
That's what I was gonna ask, but like I said, I didn't want to put that on you. Plus, I know how busy you are with your family obligations. I didn't want to have the whole show resting on your shoulders.
Yeah, like yeah, I'm doing a bit of overtime this week and next week. It's gonna be a bit crazy. Might not hear me for the next few weeks. I might jump in and out, but
Yikes.
Yeah, we can definitely use my internet when I get the chance.
Well,
So
we may not have to, and I'll go ahead and cover this point. It's a bit further down the docket, but it's kind of relevant to, I guess, this current issue. I recently switched out my old hardline modem for a Wi-Fi router. So now I can use both hardline and Wi-Fi. And this is step one in part of my several step process of getting faster, high-speed internet.
that sounds
Yes,
good.
yes. But I have a neighbor downstairs who I can share the internet with, and he'll give me half, and I'll pay in half. And that way I can get decent internet. It'll be probably, I think it's 10 megabytes down and 2 megabytes up. And 2 megabytes up doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're streaming, it makes all the difference. So that
Yep.
that'll be nice once I finally get that together. But I've just now started working again, and uh, my funds are not as vast as I would like them to be. But,
If you don't mind me asking, what are you doing?
oh well,
What
that
you what you
that
up to?
that turns right into my
Oh,
next
that's
docket.
coming up.
Yep.
That's right. That's coming
Yep.
up. I'm skipping
Uh,
ahead. Oh, what am I doing?
no, no, no. You're right on track. This is exactly where we want to be. My job is with a call center. I won't give out any names for non-disclosure purposes, but suffice it to say, we work with a government program that was recently instigated um, in light of veterans literally dying as they waited to be seen by a doctor or medical uh, therapist or whatever they needed. They were literally dying waiting
Hmm.
for these medical treatments. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, indeed. So Obama put together what is known as the Veterans Choice Act, and basically what this does, it allows veterans to use both their VA or their private insurance both together with VA doctors or with private practice doctors. So it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for health care for them that they were just stuck with the VA and they couldn't do anything but the VA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
yeah, it is good.
Got to help those guys out.
Exactly. Like I said, without getting too detailed, like I said, it's a fairly, like I said, it's your job is a bit more backbreaking than mine. I'm sitting around in AC all day, but I'll
Yes.
I'll be
It was
ordered. Yeah, go
it was
ahead.
99 degrees today. I'm sorry, jumping in there,
It's
but
a
talking about work being hot. Yeah, it was hot. I'm in Tennessee, Middle Tennessee area, and it was 99 degrees today. Heat index was like 110. I was in a sweltering warehouse. I do computer work, which I enjoy, but it's still woo. So air conditioning, that's a good job, man. That's a good job
yeah,
when you have AC.
yep. Um, it is a bit technical, but that's I guess I just come with the kind of territory. I'll be setting up doctor's appointments, talking to veterans and doctors, and just setting up, like I said, how they interact, dates, times, and so forth. So it'll be, I think, what's the word I want to use? Fulfilling. It'll be a job where I go home and I'm not worried about how I talk to a grandma how she has to pay her cable bill or I'm gonna turn it off. It's not gonna be that kind of job.
Oh, that's good.
Yes,
That is very good.
yes. But no, it's a promising job and it pays well. Thanks in part to Uncle Sam giving me $4 extra fringe benefits. Uh, nice.
Oh wow.
I know. But let's see.
Wow. So
But
you get full benefits
uh,
there?
I can put the $4 towards insurance, or I can just pocket it myself. And for the right now, I'm just gonna pocket it myself. So the regular job just pays $10. Uncle Sam chips in another four, so it's $14 an hour. But that's not including overtime, which would just be $15 an hour. So it takes off the fringe when you do overtime. If that makes sense.
Oh, that sucks.
Like I said, it's I'm not because it's still you get the fringe pay up until you do overtime, and then overtime in itself is $15 an hour, which is nothing to bat an eye at. So
No, that's pretty good.
yeah. So like I would say I'm definitely blessed with this job. It's gonna be a good job, I think.
Well, that is good. You can save up, get some better internet.
Dude, man, like I said, if I can talk to my neighbor down below, he'll mooch off my Wi-Fi and hopefully we'll share it. So hopefully I won't pay much more than I'm paying now. But
Yep, and if that don't go too well, and then I can get more solidified in being a part of the show, then we can hop off my internet too, because I know I got I get pretty good speeds. I do. I get some pretty good speeds and uploads. So I wish I had the speeds at work though, because I'm obviously directly connected to the main line. So my upload at work is like 103 megabytes, and the download is just some outrageous
Wow.
like 500, 600. Yeah, like 500, 600, 700 megabytes download. It's you could have a million people. Well, maybe not a million, but you get my point. It's you can have a lot of people join in a huge uh, discussion if you wanted to,
Yeah.
but mine's pretty good for what we're doing. You could have like 5 or 6 people
Okay.
if you have the speeds I have. So anyway, I hope that all works out with your Wi-Fi routing and your new job. That's to your points connected. That's pretty cool.
Yips. So you got some more time still, or you got to go attend to your business?
Yet I don't hear the baby screaming yet. So I have a little baby. She'll be 1 year old in a month, August 1st. But I still gotta put her to bed. But if you hear the wife yell down, it's time, then that's when I gotta go. But I got a little bit more time, so
That's good
I
to
want to
know.
hear about your laptop. What's up with that? What's up with your laptop has reached its limit, man? What is going on?
All right. I recently purchased Metal Gear Solid V and
Oh,
Wolfenstein: The New Order, which I've heard both those. Well, at Metal Gear Solid, not 5, but the
yes.
demo. What is it called?
Yeah, here in a minute. Is she doing? Is she crazy? Okay, I'll be up in just 10 minutes. Okay, I'll be right up. So this will be the last discussion I'll be able to take. I got to put the baby to bed. But go ahead, go ahead,
All right,
go ahead
but
about your laptop.
yeah, what was it? Yeah, the Metal Gear 5 demo and Wolfenstein: The New Order. All right, both I got on sale for, or got yeah, purchased them on sale during the Steam Summer Sale, pennies on the dollar. So I'm thinking, all right, let's have some fun with these new games, you know. And only later did I find out that my GeForce 360M. I'll pull it up here in the screen in a second. You won't see it because you're not watching the stream, but see
No.
here. But it should show up, I think, after the fact. Here we go. It does not support DirectX 11. And if you're not sure what that means, basically DirectX 11 is drivers that support higher definition graphics for a newer generation of games. So I cannot play those games until I either buy a new computer or figure out how to update my graphics card. So more than likely I'm gonna have to buy a new computer in the next year
Yeah.
or so.
Especially in a laptop, it's a lot more difficult to
Yeah.
to change out uh, the core stuff in
Yeah,
a laptop because it's more integrated than just a regular desktop.
that's what I'm probably gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to get a desktop because this laptop has served me well. It's done good for what I've needed to do. So I have no regrets with
That
it in that regard.
I agree with that. I've seen you use that thing
Yeah.
forever. It seems like you've had it a while. Played
Yeah.
some good games on it, but yeah, these new games that are coming out. I have a 1 gig card and I can run most games on Ultra, but there's a few games now that's coming out. It's just I wouldn't even want to try the new. Well, of course, the new Batman game has a lot of problems apparently on the PC, but once they get that all fixed, I'm sure that one will require it. And like you're saying, the Metal Gear Solid 5, it's just the graphics are getting to a point where you're gonna have that. You're gonna have to have a 2 gigabyte card, in my opinion. That's just gonna be the standard
Oh, right.
to run everything.
Speaking of buying things on the cheap, this isn't in the docket. It's another one I forgot about. Is Windows 10 is going to be free for a short period of time before they start charging for it again. And if you opt in during the time that it's free, of course you'll get it for free. Have you heard about this, or not really?
No, yeah, not only have I heard about it, but I signed up. I got the little. Actually, I'm on my Windows computer, and I just clicked on it. It says get Windows 10, and I already signed up for it. But I reserved a copy, and it says enjoy. It says reserve your copy. It will download once available. Install when you get the notification after July 29th. And third, enjoy Windows 10 for $119, and they slice that out free. And of course, there's a little asterisk because, well, actually, no, it just says yes, free, full version, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's interesting. They are. It's weird for Microsoft to give anything away, and I even heard. I don't know if you've heard about this, but they even talked about. I heard talk about that Microsoft may be doing a uh, what's it called? It's kind of like freeware. What's that called? Freeware. It's
They're trying to do
open software, open software basically.
open source.
Kind of like Linux. I hear
Yeah,
open source. That's the word. Yeah,
yeah.
I heard that they might be going open source with their OS, which I was like, what? That would be insane for Microsoft to do. But it makes sense because a lot of people are downloading for free anyway. And if you're going to have everyone steal it, why don't you get the people that are stealing it to help you make a better product and then just use it? You know, then everyone's using Microsoft anyway.
Well, like to there's
I
Linux,
don't know.
and there's those who use Macs. Yuck. But I'm curious how Steam OS is going to be functioning. I've seen little snippets of it. I don't use it myself, but if it's a reliable competitor to Microsoft and you know, Apple, I definitely take that over those guys. And I'm too dumb to do Linux myself, so I'll never do a Linux system probably, but I could probably do the Steam OS, I think. Are you familiar with that at all, Daniel, or not really? Did I lose you? I think I may have lost Daniel, but let me go ahead and get this pulled up here.
Well, I better.
Oh,
I hate to stop right here, but I got my little one crying up there.
no, it's okay.
But
Go take care
it's
of your
been it's
business. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, but it's been fun jumping in. I've been wanting to jump in for a while now. It's just been work's been crazy in the baby, but I'm gonna try to get it down where I can either put her to bed a little earlier and then join the quote unquote join the fight at 9. So I may try to put her to bed a little earlier because usually she goes to bed earlier, but this is later tonight for whatever reasons. But anyway, I'll let you continue on with your show. But it's good to be on there. You guys have a good time talking about the rest of this cool stuff. And but I will be back at some point. So you have a good night, man. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya. Well, I'm alone now, but I'm not quite ready to give up. I have a few more docket points to go, but I don't have too many for tonight. I'm barely at 15 minutes now, and let's see. Let's see. I got a few more things to go over, but not too many. Daniel helped me run through most of them there. I was just about to go over Windows 10, and I kind of tried to pull up the page as he was talking, and as I expected, he kind of cut out a little bit when I did that because the internet here is no good. But let me see if I can pull up some information here about it, because as Daniel said, it is free for right now. Let me pull this up. The power of the internet. Oop, that is not the right screen. Oop, I think I may need to get it here. Oop, oops. No, I see what I did there. Let's try this instead. Okay, that's what I want to do. All right, get the best Windows ever for free, and of course, it has a little thing here. Reserve your upgrade today, which I guess I'll go ahead and try. I may have to blank some of this out because this may have some private information I don't want to share. Let's see, all new browser. Okay, personal files and apps. Yeah, whatever. Let's see here. Click reserve. All right. So, okay, so I'll need to click on these things and I'll get Windows 10 for free, which I've been meaning to do for a while. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. As I was talking over with Daniel, I am a bit interested in SteamOS. Of course, that as well is free. As for Windows 10, if I can get that for free and have a lifetime license, I'll go ahead and do that because why not? Uh, Let me shut that down. But like I said, I've been needing to do it for a while. I'm probably gonna do it here. If not, over this coming weekend then and in the coming weeks because I know it won't be free forever, and they intend to switch it over to a purchase license, which is kind of silly since it's all digital anyway. But meh, like I said, I'll get that taken care of. Now, where was my other docket points here, which you may have saw for just a moment as I was switching around bits and bobs. Uh, World of Tanks. I've mentioned it before, talked about it a little bit. I actually had taken a bit of a hiatus from World of Tanks. Played a couple different games. Uh, in particular, I had played Final Fantasy XIV quite a bit through, I want to say, from all the way from pretty much the end of December 2014 up through, let's say, April, May, right around up to the April, May of 2015. Um, and I recently dropped my Final Fantasy subscription because Final Fantasy 14 Byakuez, I said I was running low on cash and I needed to focus more on my work than playing video games, sadly. But like I said, the game I was playing before Final Fantasy XIV was World of Tanks, and it is also free to play. But I pretty much, on a monthly basis, purchased premium time, which is pretty much about the same cost of Final Fantasy XIV Online. So I've dumped well over 200 some odd dollars in premium account time in World of Tanks. Um, and I don't regret any of that. Like I said, I enjoyed playing World of Tanks. I love World War II. I love tanks. It is the game for me. The reason I kind of stopped playing it was I pretty much got to the meta of the end game. And of course, they can always release new content, so I could argue, well, there's more stuff for me to do now. But I had participated in multiple campaigns. I have some really nice tanks and rare tanks that are hard to get. Um, so I kind of reached the plateau of what I wanted to do in that game. And like I said, I could keep on playing. I could unlock more rare tanks when campaigns and events come along, but I don't feel really I don't feel that drive to do it much the same way as I might have used to. And like I said, I don't regret spending as much money as I have in World of Tanks. I'm like I said, I enjoyed driving tanks. I enjoyed learning about tanks. I enjoyed discussing tanks with other people. It was really, really uh, the crown, the jewel in my crown of autism for a while. Um, but no, yeah. See, Final Fantasy 14, uh, and what else did I play? Because I also tried PSO2 again, to see if they had made the patch a little bit more workable, the English patch that is. And like I said, I think I may have also mentioned this before. I tried PSO2 out, and it's still more or less the same kind of, I'd say, garbled Japanese and English mixed translation every so often. If you don't really care about the plot that much, it's easy enough just to play the game and just disregard everything that's going on. But I myself, I would like to have an English translation, so I don't see myself really enjoying the game until I get a proper English version. And I know some might call me entitled. Uh, I don't think I am, and you need to call me sense of entitlement, not entitled. Entitled means I actually deserve it, but some would say people like me have a sense of entitlement that we're owed some kind of English version. I don't think that's true. I don't think I'm owed an English version of the game. I will say that I think I would feel more compelled to play on an English server with proper English server support, whereas if you get banned or you have technical issues on the Japanese side, unless you actually know Japanese, I'm not sure on the technical side you can really get much help. Or if you want to buy their premium currency for that game, there's not too many ways to go about it unless you want to go through some third party to buy their currency. And I know it does work and people make it work, but it's too much work for me for not enough fun. It's like eating lobster. It's just too much work, not enough fun. Um, But other than that, I haven't done too much. I've been, of course, doing more streams lately, uh, testing out OBS, Twitch, and YouTube streaming respectively. But in terms of games, I haven't done that much, I don't think. Um, I recently beat Far Cry 3 as well as Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, not because I really wanted to play those games, but more so because I just need to clear them out of my library. I need to make sure that I don't have too many games that I've yet to beat. It just it uh it bugs me. And speaking of games I haven't beaten, I need to finish up Rogue Legacy, Castle Crashers, Torchlight 2. I've given up on Dynasty Warriors 8 because there's just way too much to that game that I'd ever get to play. But it was fun for the time I did play it. It's just I would feel just overwhelmed trying to completely tackle all that game has to offer. Uh, I've considered going back to Borderlands 2 a little bit. Not so much because I want to play the game, but more so I just want to beat the content that I've gotten. And it's just I've never gotten around to doing it. But enough of me rambling about not being able to play enough video games. That's depressing enough as it is. Uh, I don't have too much more left on the docket. And if I can round the corner to 30 minutes, that would be nice. So I'll see if I can't reach here and grab something. My work in progress. My what have I been doing as a side project? I've kind of been putting together a short, well, maybe not a short story. I'm not sure how long of a story it's going to be, but I am in the process of writing a story. And most of that writing goes on in my head, so I need to take more ideas that I've kept in my head and put them to paper, or digital WordPad, as the case will be for me. Um, what I have in mind is a story kind of in the same style, the same kind of feel of Escape from New York and kind of Metal Gear Solid, but in a fantasy setting with a kind of traditional dick-ass thief kind of character. Uh, and of course, the whole kind of linchpin would be he would be thrust into a situation he has no control over, and like he is the sole guy who can save his entire world, you know, and it has like basically all the pressure and of everything is on his shoulders. So I think that it would be it's a kind of story I would like to hear, and no one else has written it thus far. Or if they have, I haven't stumbled across a book that kind of really caters to that particular taste. But I think, like I said, if I could write that story, I think I may have a few fans who might connect with it. But like I said, I've barely scratched the first chapter of where I want to go, and I've not even done rewrites, which I will need to do for every single chapter of the first chapter to kind of make things perfect. But what makes me depressed though is I'll come up with these ideas. I'll think, yeah, that's a good idea. But then I'll be like, I'll write it down later, and I just never write it down later. And this is not the first story I've done this to. I've had multiple stories that I've always told myself, uh, multiple ideas that just kind of roll around in my head that I like the idea of, and I'll tell myself stories to put myself to sleep because that's just kind of the way my mind works. But I never end up writing any stories, and probably with good reason because sometimes my stories get a bit strange. But at the same time I feel I do need to put some of these stories down. I need to get these stories in some kind of format so that in the future I'll have a remnant of these stories when they've long since left my mind, when I've moved on to better things. Because I know I've made up stories in the past, and I grew tired of retelling the same stories to myself before I moved on to a new story. And that's what I'm afraid will happen with the story that I'm telling myself right now. I'll get hyped up on it, and I'll retell it so many times that I'll get sick of hearing myself tell the story, and I'll just abandon it. I'll say like I'll write a new story, and I'll just leave it where it lays. So I'm gonna try to start writing. I'm gonna see if I can't maybe, if not post the digital copy on Amazon or Kindle or something like that. I'll see if I can. I thought about doing an audiobook because I do have the golden voice, and I thought about voicing all my characters. I've gotten more into audiobooks as well, so that's kind of partly where I've got the inspiration for this. Um, but writing and voicing my own audiobook would be a tremendous undertaking. It's something that would take more time and energy than I think I would have ever devoted to anything, any project I've ever done. But at the same time, it's the ambitious nature of the project that makes it all the more desirable for me to try to tackle. Because that would be something really cool, really fun, something that I've been wanting to do but never have done for quite a while. But that's my work in progress kind of folder. My other work in progress, of course, is this channel, and that's about it. Like I said, I haven't uploaded many other videos. If you've browsed my gallery, I haven't uploaded any tank replays, which is of course natural since I don't play tanks that often. I haven't done any streams of Final Fantasy XIV, which of course is also natural. I haven't played that game that much. I need to start streaming again on Tuesdays, but like I said I'm a bit worried about streaming on YouTube, so I may transition back over to Twitch for video game streams and just export them to YouTube after I'm done with them on Twitch. Because Twitch, unlike YouTube, seems to be a bit more uh, workable for streaming purposes. But let's see, closing in on 30 minutes here. I got a minute to go, and I didn't expect to last too long tonight. I've lasted longer than I thought I originally would. 30 minutes is pretty good for me tonight, so I may just go ahead and wrap it up right now. I do need to eat some food. Um, Food that I've cooked. I'm eating too much microwave stuff, so I'm probably gonna fry up some fries and maybe fry up something else as well because I love fried food. But no, I do appreciate everyone for listening. If you are listening, uh, if you were listening to the live show, it was probably a bit garbled at some point. If that's the case, don't fret. Like I said, I always upload a proper copy, recorded locally every time, so there'll be a pristine copy. Although I think Daniel may have gotten choppy at some point, which I couldn't control because it's just my internet interpreting his voice. But for the most part, I heard Daniel pretty clear. I didn't hear him break up at all. So in the very worst case scenario, future shows, I could at least have him on my internets. And like I said, I am planning to upgrade my internet fairly soon. So these problems I'm encountering now shouldn't be problems in the future. If they still persist, I'll know the problem lies with YouTube uh, rather than my bandwidth allocation. And like I said, I do think the YouTube is giving me a few issues. I may need to use some sort of codecs or drivers or something to that effect because I've tried multiple different settings for my broadcast software, and it seems like no matter what I do, YouTube still struggles to maintain a relatively good picture. Well, not picture, but the audio quality, which is really what I'm worried about. Although I'm sure my picture probably wouldn't look as well if I were actually streaming a more, well, less static image. But that about covers it. Not too many pictures and articles for this show, but for the next show, I'll try to have some more content packed in here. But it's just with my new job, I've yet to have a chance to really adjust to the jet lag of being unemployed and being thrust back into a working environment. So like I said, thanks again. Push all the like and subscribe buttons. Those are important. Or don't, whichever you feel like. Have a nice night, and thanks again for watching the show.